In a bold and calculated move, Canada is set to strike back in a mounting trade dispute with the United States, announcing it will impose 25% tariffs on vehicles imported from the U.S., effective Wednesday at 12:01 a.m. This significant development comes as a direct response to U.S. President Donald Trump's sweeping tariffs on foreign-made vehicles, a decision that has already sent shockwaves through international markets. This is In the Know News, where we break down complex issues with clarity, accuracy, and insight, so you can stay informed and ahead of the curve. President Trump's decision, announced 2 weeks ago, introduced a blanket 25% tariff on all vehicles manufactured outside of the United States, regardless of their country of origin. This includes light trucks and sedans, and it comes on top of previously implemented tariffs on steel and aluminum, materials critical to the auto industry. While Canada was initially excluded from Trump's broader package of so-called reciprocal tariffs, the reality of escalating trade restrictions has now prompted Ottawa to take firm, retaliatory action. Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne confirmed that the Canadian countermeasures would take effect at the stroke of midnight on April 9th, stating unequivocally that Canada continues to respond forcefully to all unwarranted and unreasonable tariffs imposed by the U.S. on Canadian products. Champagne, who is also actively campaigning for re-election in the riding of Saint Maurice-Champlain, emphasized the federal government's commitment to defending Canadian jobs, industries, and the broader economy from what it views as unjust economic aggression. Prime Minister Mark Carney, maintaining his role as caretaker leader while campaigning for a new term, had previously signaled Canada's intent to respond, but had withheld the timeline until further details from Washington were reviewed. Now, with the counter tariffs officially locked in, Ottawa is making it clear that it will not hesitate to protect its economic interests. These retaliatory tariffs will target fully assembled vehicles that do not comply with the Canada-US-Mexico Agreement, CUSMA, as well as the non-Canadian and non-Mexican content of CUSMA-compliant vehicles entering Canada from the U.S. Meanwhile, the political fallout from the auto tariff standoff is resonating across Canada's election campaign trail. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has pledged a $3 billion loan fund to help businesses cope with the impact of U.S. tariffs, coupled with a promise to eliminate GST on Canadian-made vehicles to stimulate domestic sales. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh has taken a similar worker-focused stance, proposing enhancements to employment insurance and a redirection of revenue from Canada's counter tariffs toward affected auto sector employees. His party also supports waiving the GST on cars manufactured within Canada to give the industry a competitive edge. Beyond the tariffs, Prime Minister Carney has proposed a new remission framework designed to support and incentivize auto manufacturing within Canada. This initiative aims to protect jobs and encourage investment, ensuring that the country's auto sector remains resilient in the face of international pressures. The Department of Finance has promised more details on this framework in the coming days and confirmed that every dollar collected from these new tariffs will be allocated to support Canadian auto workers, a point reiterated in a statement from the Prime Minister's office. It's worth noting that the Canadian automotive industry is already grappling with the impact of 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum, two essential components in vehicle manufacturing. Consumers and businesses alike are feeling the ripple effects of the broader U.S. trade agenda, which also included 25% duties on a wide range of Canadian goods starting in March. The Department of Finance has released a comprehensive list of vehicle types that will be affected by Canada's new tariffs, ensuring transparency and providing guidance to importers and manufacturers alike. As this economic showdown continues to unfold, it is clear that both countries are bracing for a prolonged trade standoff with high stakes. For Canada, the objective is clear: defend domestic industry, support workers, and respond decisively to what it sees as disproportionate and protectionist measures from its largest trading partner. For President Trump, the move reflects his broader strategy of reshaping global trade relationships in favor of U.S. production, regardless of international friction. This developing story underscores the fragility of cross-border trade and the strategic complexity of economic diplomacy. At In the Know News, we'll continue to track every twist and turn of this evolving saga. Until next time, stay informed, stay sharp, and remember, the world doesn't pause, and neither do we.